An aircraft carrier is a warship that serves as a mobile airbase, allowing aircraft to take off and land at sea. These vessels are typically the largest ships in a navy and are equipped with a variety of weapons and defensive systems to protect the carrier and its aircraft. The primary role of an aircraft carrier is to project military power by providing a platform for launching airstrikes against enemy targets, conducting surveillance and reconnaissance missions, and supporting ground troops. Carriers can also be used for humanitarian relief operations and disaster response efforts. Aircraft carriers are complex machines, requiring a large crew to operate and maintain them. They typically have a displacement of tens of thousands of tons and are powered by nuclear reactors or conventional engines. Carriers can carry a variety of aircraft, including fighter jets, helicopters, and surveillance planes, and can support hundreds of aircraft at once. The United States operates the largest and most advanced fleet of aircraft carriers in the world, with 11 active carriers as of 2021. Other countries with aircraft carriers include the United Kingdom, China, Russia, India, and France. The United States has been involved in several humanitarian missions in recent years, both domestically and internationally. Here are a few examples. Hurricane relief. The U.S. military has played a significant role in responding to hurricanes that have devastated parts of the United States and its territories in recent years, including Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, and Maria. The military has provided logistical support, medical assistance, and search and rescue operations in affected areas. Syrian refugee crisis. The United States has provided significant financial aid and assistance to refugees fleeing the conflict in Syria, including funding for food, shelter, and medical care. Ebola outbreak. In 2014, the U.S. military deployed hundreds of troops to West Africa to help contain the Ebola virus outbreak. The military provided logistical support, built treatment centers, and helped train local health workers to combat the disease. Earthquake relief. The U.S. military has responded to several major earthquakes in recent years, including the earthquake that struck Haiti in 2010 and the earthquake that hit Nepal in 2015. The military provided search and rescue teams, medical assistance, and logistical support to aid in relief efforts. These are just a few examples of the many humanitarian missions the United States has been involved in over the past few years. Modern aircraft carriers have a range of several thousand nautical miles, with some capable of traveling over 10,000 nautical miles without refueling. For example, the U.S. Navy's Nimitz-class carriers have a range of over 8,000 nautical miles at a speed of 30 knots, while the newer Ford-class carriers have a range of over 10,000 nautical miles at the same speed. However, these ranges can vary depending on the specific mission and operational conditions. It's worth noting that the range of an aircraft carrier is not solely determined by the ship itself, but also by the range of the aircraft it carries. For instance, a carrier's strike aircraft might be capable of traveling hundreds of miles beyond the range of the carrier itself, thanks to aerial refueling or extended-range weapons. Aircraft carriers are designed to stay out at sea for extended periods of time, sometimes for several months at a time, without needing to return to port. They are equipped with a variety of systems and technologies that allow them to generate their own power, produce fresh water, and store food and supplies. Here are some of the key systems and technologies that allow aircraft carriers to stay at sea for extended periods of time. Nuclear power. Some of the newer aircraft carriers, such as the U.S. Navy's Ford-class carriers, are powered by nuclear reactors that can provide power for the ship's propulsion and electrical systems for up to 25 years without needing to refuel. Fuel storage. Even carriers that are not powered by nuclear reactors have significant fuel storage capacity. This allows them to travel long distances without needing to refuel. Water production. Aircraft carriers have desalination systems that can turn seawater into fresh water for drinking, cooking, and cleaning. Food storage. Carriers have large refrigeration and freezer systems that allow them to store large quantities of food for extended periods of time. Waste management. Carriers are equipped with systems that can treat and dispose of sewage, garbage, and other waste products generated by the crew. Overall, aircraft carriers are designed to be self-sufficient, with the capability to stay at sea for extended periods of time and operate independently of shore-based support. Active aircraft carriers in the world, operated by 13 countries. The United States has the largest fleet of aircraft carriers, with 11 active carriers, followed by Russia and China, each with 2 carriers. The United Kingdom, France, Italy, India, Brazil, Thailand, Japan, South Korea, Spain, and Egypt each operate 1 aircraft carrier. The United States Navy's newest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford, was estimated to cost around $13 billion to build. This includes the cost of the ship itself, as well as research and development, design, and construction of support systems and equipment. Other countries, such as China and Russia, have reportedly spent significantly less to build their aircraft carriers, but exact figures are often difficult to obtain due to the secrecy surrounding military expenditures. It's worth noting that the cost of an aircraft carrier doesn't end with construction. Operating and maintaining an aircraft carrier can also be extremely expensive, requiring ongoing investments in personnel, fuel, maintenance, and upgrades. Despite their high cost, aircraft carriers are considered to be critical components of many nations' defense strategies due to their ability to project power and protect their interests around the world. In naval terminology, the class of a ship refers to a group of ships that share similar design characteristics and capabilities. Ships within the same class typically have the same basic layout, dimensions, propulsion systems, armament, and other features. For example, the Nimitz-class aircraft carriers operated by the United States Navy are all part of the same class of ship. They share many common features, such as a length of over 1,000 feet, a displacement of around 100,000 tons, a nuclear propulsion system, and a flight deck that can accommodate dozens of aircraft. Each ship within the class may have some unique features or upgrades, but they are all fundamentally similar in design and capabilities. Classes of ships are often named after the lead ship in the class. For example, the USS Nimitz was the first ship in the Nimitz class of aircraft carriers. Other ships in the class are named after famous naval leaders or other significant figures in American history. The concept of ship classes allows navies to standardize their fleets and simplify maintenance, training, and logistics. It also allows for economies of scale and production, as many components and systems can be shared across multiple ships within the same class. There are many classes of ships, as the concept of ship classes is used to categorize ships based on their design, capabilities, and intended roles. The exact number of classes of ships varies depending on the country, navy, and time period being considered. In the case of aircraft carriers, for example, the United States Navy has operated several different classes of carriers over the years, including the Nimitz class, the Gerald R. Ford class, the Enterprise class, the Kitty Hawk class, and the Midway class, among others. Other countries have also operated their own classes of aircraft carriers, such as the Queen Elizabeth class operated by the United Kingdom and the Liaoning class operated by China. Similar categorizations exist for other types of ships as well, such as destroyers, frigates, cruisers, submarines, and amphibious assault ships. Each class of ship is designed and built with specific capabilities and roles in mind, and is optimized for a particular set of tasks and environments. Overall, the number of ship classes in operation around the world is constantly changing as new ships are developed and older ones are retired or replaced. There have been many famous aircraft carriers throughout history, and which ones are considered the most famous can depend on a number of factors, including their performance in battles or missions, their role in shaping naval technology, and their cultural significance. Here are a few examples of aircraft carriers that are often considered among the most famous. USS Enterprise, CV-6, this was a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier that served during World War II and was involved in several major battles in the Pacific Theater, including the Battle of Midway. It was one of the most decorated ships of the war and was the most decorated U.S. Navy ship until the USS New Jersey was awarded more battle stars in the 1980s. HMS Ark Royal, this was a British aircraft carrier that served during World War II and was involved in several key operations, including the sinking of the German battleship Bismarck. It was also the first ship to have a rotating aircraft catapult. USS Nimitz, CVN-68, this is a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier that is part of the Nimitz class, which is the largest class of aircraft carriers ever built. The USS Nimitz has been involved in numerous missions and operations, including supporting the U.S. military response to the 9/11 attacks. HMS Invincible, this was a British aircraft carrier that served during the Falklands War in 1982, where it played a key role in the British victory. It was the first aircraft carrier to use vertical takeoff and landing, VTOL, aircraft. Liaoning, this is a Chinese aircraft carrier that was originally built by the Soviet Union and was later sold to China. It is the first aircraft carrier to be commissioned into the Chinese Navy and has been involved in several missions and training exercises. These are just a few examples of the many famous aircraft carriers that have served around the world. It is difficult to say which aircraft carrier would be the most dangerous, as they are typically used for defensive and offensive operations and are designed to project power, rather than pose a direct threat to other nations or entities. Additionally, the overall danger of an aircraft carrier would depend on a number of factors, including its mission, the capabilities of its crew, and the political and military situation in which it is deployed. That being said, aircraft carriers are often considered a key component of a nation's military capability, and their size and capabilities can certainly make them formidable. The United States Navy's Nimitz-class aircraft carriers, for example, are the largest warships in the world, with a displacement of over 100,000 tons and the ability to carry up to 90 aircraft. They are equipped with advanced defensive and offensive systems, including surface-to-air missiles, anti-submarine warfare capabilities, and sophisticated radar and communications equipment. Other countries have also developed their own advanced aircraft carriers with a range of capabilities. For example, the Chinese Navy's Type 002 aircraft carrier, also known as the Shandong, is equipped with a variety of advanced systems, including a phased array radar system, anti-ship and anti-aircraft missiles, and a ski jump ramp for launching aircraft. Overall, while individual aircraft carriers may have different capabilities and technologies, their overall danger would depend on their strategic context and the political and military factors surrounding their deployment.